This is the old railway bed, and the old railway depot was built in 1909 and the first train came through in 1910.
Okay, cool.
And it was really important back then because obviously it was bringing supplies.
Now, with the same railway, would they take all the ore out to various
Yes.
locations? So where was the starting point and ending point? Do you know?
No,
Oh,
don't ask me that.
okay. We'll scrap that question. So the old railway depot.
Uh-huh. It's pretty neat, isn't it? And the BLM have done their best to keep the structure standing.
Yeah. Well, that's where, because this whole site, I am really surprised and, pleasantly surprised. The BLM has done an outstanding job here at this ghost town.
Well, it's also an archaeological site, so
Yeah.
everything's got to be left where it is. I mean, there's some 1970 cans there.
Yeah.
Looking at that. However, although it says leave everything where it is, I have noticed that people have done this, which I kind of see why. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So the mines closed in 1911 and there were several false starts between then and 1914. And then they had a new company came in and pretty much rebuilt the town. And that's when all of these housings for the employees were built.
Oh, okay. Well, I wonder if that makes, maybe these were built a little quicker, hence why they're not in very good shape versus the other ones that are closer to the mine, the older
Yeah,
ones.
possibly. Very basic though, aren't they?
They are just boxes, pretty much. Still a little bit of plumbing left, as you can see.
I thought first of all this was going to be like a dynamite box. It's not.
No, that's quite thick wood. And then the other floor plan. Well, the wall's in decent shape, cement wall.
Yeah, these are the mill foundations that they were built in 1918. Now, although the town pretty much died during the Great Depression, the last milling was reported in 1944, according to the BLM leaflet.
You can see up above the massive waste rock piles. So we're down at the bottom of what remains of the mill site now. And it's quite extensive. It goes around the back side of that waste rock pile right in front of us here by the large water tank that's, or maybe not water tank, but large tank that's been just engulfed. So we'll continue to walk around. You can see up there by the tree, there's also remains of where another water tank would have been. So we're going to continue to walk around this site. You can see off to the left side, perhaps, there's another mine shaft that's been gated. Maybe we'll go take a closer look at that. Made it over to the shaft. You can see in the distance there, that's a railway depot. Where we camped is just behind that. And this one is a little bit harder to make out with the grates on top, but you can see the collar has completely failed. But there are remnants of a ladder for the manway. Might be able to get a sneak peek from here.
So this blast furnace smelter was built in 1909 and it was 350 tonne. Also a power plant and a water system was built, and then more mine shafts were put in, but it only operated until 1911.
Wow. So it's also, walking up to this, get flashbacks of Mariscal.
So this part of the building was the dust chamber, and it was used to extract the copper and small amounts of other minerals from the refining process.
That's cool. I like these the little windows down here. They've got or they probably weren't windows at one point, but I mean just the shape is pretty unique.
Well, waste gas, dust and smoke exited through the shacks at the rear.
Okay, so maybe let's climb up around the back.
That they say as much as 400,000 gallons of water were used per day for the smelter and the town operations.
Jeez.
True story.
So it looks like we have found part of a drift level that's been exposed. So we will traverse this very carefully, because as you can see, this material is quite scary. Walk softly, talk softly.
Oh, it smells.
Oh yeah, I can smell it. Okay, we got some. Oh. Okay, so this side doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a burn smell, and this side is the same actually. So, bizarre. There's a pack rat's nest down there.
Did you know that prospectors started working this area as early as 1862?
I didn't.
Yeah, and silver was actually discovered here in the 1880s. The silver panned out really, really quickly. And all that was left was worthless copper, or so they thought at the time.
Yeah, I say all the copper piping now and pennies and...
Yep, true story.
So we ran across this one over here, all on his lonesome. I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark and say that's a Chevy. Completely filled with bullet holes. More remaining to this one though than that other one. We got 2 leaf springs left. And inside?
Not a lot left.
Nope.
Apart from a pack rat's nest and a spider.
Ooh, I'm backing away. And no emblems I can make out. Beautiful. Okay, so these are the original miners' cabins.
Yep. They're pretty neat, aren't they?
They are. Still got a floor in this one.
Could you imagine living in one of these?
That's just like a tiny 1-bedroom.
They've got a pipe for...
Would have had a wood-burning stove.
But yeah. Now, did you know that the town of Swansea was named after the Welsh copper mining town of Swansea? For those of you who don't know, Wales is part of the United Kingdom. But also Mitchell, one of the guys who was one of the main investors, he actually came from Swansea in Wales.
Oh, wow.
True story.
So what was the total population here?
Well, this is where it gets a bit sketchy, because the sign at the bottom says 750,
Right.
The BLM information leaflet says 500, but on other websites I've seen 300. So it's anywhere between 300 and 750. But there were a post office, general store, saloons, and I'm sure ladies of the evening.
Yeah. Auto dealerships, physicians, you know, McDonald's probably.
Oh, what a shame about the graffiti.
I know, and they're carving it in really deep. I mean, it's destroying the wall. And the BLM is trying so hard and doing a fantastic job of preserving these.
I know.
It's just a shame.
Crazy. Ignorant.
And that is going to wrap it up for Swansea Ghost Town.
Now, we haven't showed you everything in Swansea, and in fact, there are 2 cemeteries somewhere.
Yeah, we haven't been able to find them, but this whole area, it's sprawling. It's so huge. And like we mentioned a few times, the BLM has created some campsites here, which is incredible. It's really great.
We actually camped up here last night and had our own private bathroom. It was a dunny, but we didn't show you that one. Anyway, on that note, get out there, go and explore, put another pin in the atlas, and we will see you on our next adventure or on Patreon. Bye.
Bye.